Oh my god, they actually fucking did it. I'm fucking blown away. I never thought this day would come, but somebody actually did it. XCOM Enemy Unknown. The announcement of a turn-based strategy XCOM. And pretty much a throwback to the original. I can't even talk. I'm so freaking excited about this game. Oh yeah. 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 This game is supposedly coming out later on this year. It's bullshit. The Game Informer gets the exclusive, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about what information is in here, and you know that I'm gonna be supporting this game. You're gonna hear me talking about this game a lot. I'm gonna be this game's biggest supporter because this is exactly what we asked for, and it's exactly what we're gonna get. And we need to support this game. In fact, we need to make this game more successful than the XCOM first-person shooter to show those people, to show everybody out there, the industry in general, that we can want strategy games too. That strategy games can be just as successful as first-person shooters. You don't need to take an amazing legendary franchise and transform it into a first-person shooter and give that to the audience. No, you can actually remake the original and add new interesting elements to it and it still be successful. Strategy games and turn-based games have their place in today's market and we need to prove that. So you're damn right I'm gonna support this game. Woo! Let's take a look. They've actually released a few screenshots for the game for the rest of the press who aren't Game Informer. Of course, there's a bunch more screenshots in here that you can go through. There's, these XCOM files that show you some of the aliens that are in the game. And these aliens look so much more exciting. Look, what is this? The Thin Man. Yeah, a thin man, so an alien that mimics a human being that's creepy as hell and they move all insane and they can jump up things and crazy stuff like that. And of course the Greys, the sectoids is what they're calling them. And they talk a little bit about each of their special abilities. And that's what made XCOM so interesting because you would always encounter new and different aliens. And, as opposed to this first-person shooter that's coming out here where all the aliens are of the same race and there's no diversity. They're all these blocky little type aliens that can transform. So, and then the black goo. I don't know. There may be more interesting aliens in that game. I don't know, but from what I've seen, it's just one alien faction. In this newly announced game, this is pretty much a throwback to the original where there's aliens from all different types of races just come together to fucking lay siege to the earth. So anyway, let's take a look at these screenshots. The first one that that I got here is gives me a lot of hope because it's one of the questions that I asked the FPS XCOM guys. Will there be a base? Will you build your own base? Will aliens invade your base like in the original and you have to defend it? As we can see, bam! There it is, the XCOM base. Now, it is different from the original in this sense that it's a side view instead of a horizontal top view. But you can see that over here we have all the interceptors that you can launch, and it's underground, which is interesting. And then over here it looks like sort of the mission control center, which we'll see in another screenshot. And then all these different modules should house like alien containment units, laboratories to research new weapons, engineering stuff so that you can actually build those new weapons, sensor arrays, all sorts of different really cool stuff. This next screenshot, it's a standard screenshot. It just looks like, we got a bunch of, geared up XCOM enforcement agents just running across. This could just be a cinematic in the game every time you deploy of, the troops going into battle. The screenshot, though, that we get the most information from is basically this Battlescape, and this is a part of the turn-based combat. And if you look here, there's lots of different elements on the screenshot. We could see in the top left-hand corner, we've got a radar. We've got 4 alien faces, which in the original basically indicated that your troops are seeing 4 enemy hostiles. So that's what we're seeing there. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see that the troopers can have basically 2 weapons. It looks like each trooper can hold 2 weapons and can switch between them. And in this particular screenshot, you've got a machine gun and a pistol. And that may not quite be the same as the old game's models of slots for the right hand, the left hand, the backpack, the belt. There was slots for everything. And if it's just the machine gun and pistol, that's kind of a disappointment, but we don't know yet. It's an early build here. But one thing that we can determine is that that's different is a new cover system. You can see that these enemies have half-filled shields, which means they may be benefiting from cover slightly but not fully. And you go over to one of the XCOM agents and they have a full shield. So there's a new cover system, half cover, whereas in XCOM it was completely behind cover or not behind cover at all. So I'm really encouraged by what I've seen. I also took notes on some of the other things that they are, offering us. There are tanks on both the human and the alien sides. The missions are going to be randomly generated terrain, so they say that you'll never play the exact same mission twice outside of a few story missions. That would be really awesome. So we're going to see a massive amount of maps. So in this particular screenshot, we see a forest, and to be honest, it doesn't look all that great right now. It's a little dark, and this could be just the first graphics pass. So, the graphics could get better later on. We don't know. You can equip your XCOM dudes with all sorts of different types of guns. Customization is going to be key for this game. One of the most concerning things, though, is that weapons available to each soldier are determined by class. And that's kind of interesting. And you're not going to be able to select which class of soldier you want to recruit. You're just recruiting a green soldier. It may be a support soldier. It may be just a standard, soldier, an assault soldier. You don't know. This new system was created to allow the soldiers to have special abilities that are more thematic to each class. Like, for example, Sniper was able to choose from 2 abilities in this demo talked about in this article. Squad Sight, which means that he can basically shoot anything any other squad member can see, which is cool. And Snapshot, which lets him shoot after moving. Something that snipers aren't normally allowed to do. So specific classes have specific special abilities, which should add some flavor to the game. Another thing that's interesting here is that the original time units have been removed. Now that's the most concerning thing. They replace it with a simple move plus action, or a double move for each unit. So the idea is to let players still have the same decisions, move here, shoot that, without having to precisely calculate the steps taken and the top types of shots fired in order to optimize that final 5% of combat efficiency. I liked that. We all liked that. And it forced you to really analyze the situation, see how many time units you had left, maximize those time units, because there were different types of shots from the troops. You could take an aim shot, a precise shot, a snapshot, and each of those shots would take a different amount of time units to execute. So I'm a little concerned that they took that away, but they continue with saying that if you're an XCOM devotee from the old days, take comfort in the fact that the hardest difficulty is simply called classic mode. So hopefully they will still include time units in some way, or at least make the game closer to the original classic mode without this type of movement system. Who knows? We don't know. But what we do know is that this game is being developed by Firaxis, which is one of the premier strategy game developers, and it's in good hands. Our XCOM franchise is in good hands. It's being run by people who love the original. The lead designer is Jake Solomon. So we'll put it all on this guy. I want to interview this guy. I want to thank him for being a part of this project and helping this come to life. And ask him a crap load of questions, your questions. So make sure to leave me a ton of questions for this upcoming XCOM. If you have a Game Informer subscription, read through the article or comment on what you've heard and seen here, and give me questions for the future interview that I'll do with the guy. But I'm so excited. XCOM Enemy Unknown. Finally here. Hell yeah. I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show.